this is our Halloween special.
Can I correct you? It drives me crazy when people do this. I don't know. Maybe it's my parents were English teacher. It's Halloween. It's All Hallows Eve. So
How did I say it?
Halloween.
Oh, I see. I say Halloween.
Do you really?
What's a regional thing?
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. It's called Halloween.
No.
How
I just did. You did the voices before, so like I don't want to cross you. Halloween. Halloween?
Like ghosts?
Look how she's just fondling.
No, I know. She's gonna. She's just like point at it and it'll explode.
I'm a Halloween fanatic. I'm a Halloween fanatic.
What?
And I'm a paranormal fanatic.
That's what I wanted to get into. You believe in ghosts?
Well, I've experienced it, yes.
Tell me about your ghost experience.
I've done paranormal investigations professionally, and I've done them for television. Mm-hmm. And I've had a number of experiences in various parts of the country. Some in Texas, some in the South, some here, a few here, but mostly in Texas. I sat and had a disembodied conversation in front of 20 people for 45 minutes.
What does that mean?
There was an energy in this particular place. It was like 3 a.m., a little after 3 a.m. And we had a paranormal group come in. And all of these people in the paranormal group were just fans of being a part of the paranormal. They weren't professionals, but it was sort of like an event, a large event. And I was there as a part of this event. And there were a couple of days of this event in Texas. So I was brought to Texas to be a part of this event and to host various experiences. And for those of you that are familiar with the paranormal, there are a couple of investigators that were well-known and had television shows. And one of them was Chip Coffey. He did Psychic Kids. Is anyone familiar with Chip Coffey?
It's a great name.
Okay, but a few of you have heard of him. So
it's a porn star that works at an ice cream shop.
He was.
Oh, you gonna ice
that
cream?
That was chocolate chip coffee.
That's right. My banana's gonna split.
So what he does, pouring your syrup all over everything.
Well,
yo, sticky icky. So Chip Coffey is not only a paranormal investigator, he is a psychic. And he's clairvoyant and he's clairaudio. And so he had a gallery reading, which means people sit, and one on those days, he would talk to people and say, I feel an energy coming through, and he would get readings from people who've passed. And everyone that came, some of them were skeptics. And I watched skeptics break down and cry. So Chip Coffey's the real deal. And he would say intimate things, I mean really intimate things. So on the second night, we did an investigation of a particular place that was supposed to be haunted in Texas, and we started out at 2 o'clock in the morning, and there were like 20, 30 people in the group, and I was a part of it. And we came to a particular area, and he was picking up information, and he was picking up visual cues, and he could see things. And so he kept telling everybody, okay, here's what's going on. Here's what I'm seeing, here's who I'm seeing, here's the number of people. You can't see them, but he can see. He's clairaudio and clairvoyant. And he keeps seeing a black sharecropper. And I was the only black person in the group. And so I started using an era cue. An era cue is when you would use a particular type of speech or anything from that particular time period. And he was giving the time period saying this is the early 1800s. It's the early to mid 1800s. He's a sharecropper, and he's a black sharecropper. That's who I'm talking to, and he gets a name. And so, little by little, he asks this sharecropper, oh, wait a minute, you want this person, you want them to go. Okay, you want them to leave. You want them to leave. And eventually it came down just to me and him. So I start talking to him, and I'm sitting down, and I took a mag light. Usually you squeeze, you turn them with a large flashlight, those big mag lights. Yeah. The way you turn them on and off is not with a button. You twist them in the front. So I would twist it just very slightly, so where it's kind of on but not off, and kind of off but not on, but right there in the center, and I would put it down on the table. So I started talking, and I started using a southern drawl, and I started singing old Negro spirituals to draw that energy in. And I would ask him, after I would do that and make him comfortable, if he would light the light very bright for yes and cut it off when he was no. And because it was in that space, and it was battery operated, because it was in that space, he could cut it on and off at will. was an intelligent presence, and he can cut it on and off at will. Not only could he cut it on and off at will, he would also cut it on bright for really powerful yes, and then I would ask him to dim it down, and he would. The rocking chair started rocking that was sitting next to me, and I asked if it was him, and he put the light bright. I began to tell him about the things that were happening in the 20th century, Barack Obama, John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, civil rights, all sorts of things for 45 minutes, and people would come by and watch, and people would come by and take pictures, and people would come by and use their equipment, and this went on for about 45 minutes.
Well, I'm not sure I was a believer before, but if Debra Wilson is saying so, I think I'm in. I think I've been converted.
I've experienced it. I've seen stuff too.